Oh, we're live right now. All right.
Yep, see, there we go.
Good morning, Gloucester. Is GloucesterCast? Oh, it's GloucesterCast 440. It just said we were interrupted for a second, so I was wondering what that was all about. But we are live. I'm going to put the stream onto Good Morning Gloucester, and I'm going to publish that, and I can close that screen out. Okay, that's published. Close, and we're back. Good morning, Pat Dalpiaz. I see that you've entered the chat.
I have.
We have a podcast virgin with us right now, Paul Horovitz. Congratulations! Not just a podcast virgin, a Good Morning Gloucester contributor virgin this week. We made him official this week.
That's awesome.
So I've cut out the middleman, and Nicole doesn't get a percentage.
I know.
anymore.
I'm gonna have to get my act together now.
I have noticed. Yeah.
I could count on Paul for like one post a week, and now I'm like,
Yeah.
now I need my own content.
Now you need exactly 1/7 more production out of yourself instead of the
I don't
copy
do
and
weekends.
paste.
1/5.
I
Slacked off on the weekends.
We have another podcast virgin. You've never been on, right?
No.
Enza Iacono, and I think we've spoken about lobster trap gifts. How many weekends in a row?
Lots.
8 maybe?
Several, yeah.
Thank you.
Because I'm a huge fan of her product, especially her apparel.
They're awesome, yeah.
And we actually collaborate. Well, not really collaborate. She runs things by me to say, "How do you like this design?"
Oh,
Yeah.
good to
So
have extra eyes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nicole Schrafft is with us.
Hi. Good morning.
Jimmy, I'll go like this. Jimmy and Pat Dalpiaz are with us.
Good morning, Gloucester.
And waiting in the wings, I'm going to go like this. This is going to be really weird. See it, the black and white? There's Muffy White and Chris McCarthy waiting in the wings. We're going to bring them in a little
They're in
bit.
the green room.
They're in the green room. Yeah, the GMG green room.
They're eating all the snacks we provided in the green room.
Yeah.
Hi, Joey Foote. Hi, Susan Casey Lipset. So today, I wanted to say, I'm going to say this a couple times during the podcast. Jody Dowd, our friend Jody Dowd, her husband and maybe Jody owns the Champions Pub in Peabody, which is known for having the best steak tips on the North Shore. Has donated a gift. Is that on the camera? A gift certificate for $25. We are going to write down the people that share the podcast are going to be entered to win a $25 gift certificate to Champions Pub.
Awesome.
And we're going to write down the people that share it on Facebook right now, and probably about 2/3 of the way through the podcast, we are going to pick the number. Pat's going to keep a count. We're going to assign them numbers, and then I do my magic random number picker on the iPhone, and that person will win. So that's exciting. So don't forget to share the podcast.
That's Vanna White. And spins the wheel. That's how they do it.
Did I introduce you guys already?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, you want to make sure I didn't blow you guys
Got
up.
all the way around the room.
Yeah. I know.
But you're going to do the death row sub
Yes.
first?
Yeah. No, I got that. Thank you, though. So, Paul, have you watched the podcast before?
I have.
Are you familiar with the process for the death row sub and the death row meal?
The death
So,
row
okay, so his look of that's it's very telling. It's very telling.
Which means you didn't. Okay.
She didn't.
And you're going to answer too.
Well, we have.
Get to go
Can
second,
we-
Enza,
can
so
we
you're
confirm
Enza,
okay.
are you familiar with the death row sub?
I am.
Okay, I'm going to let. So this is the test.
Mm-hmm.
Enza is going to explain what the death row sub and death
okay.
row meal is for the podcast
That's
version.
a
Okay.
great teaching
You
You guys
technique.
go ahead. I'll just
Yeah.
have my coffee. Let me know.
No, it's the last. Cheers,
Jim.
No, you got to say it so that people can hear.
The last sub before.
Before, yeah. So if it was the last sub, which sub shop would you go to and what sub type? And then also, if it was your last meal, what would be your last meal?
And what restaurant and what would the meal
restaurant?
be?
Yeah.
Well, the last meal is easy. We have to wait for them to reopen. It would be Duckworth's.
Okay.
Duckworth's is probably in the lead.
It is.
Absolutely.
Top
No
three.
question. And last sub. You know, it has been so many years since I had a good sub. Well, there was an amazing sub shop in South Philly where you get Philly cheesesteaks and subs on the side and all that. So
Jim's exactly.
I'd go to South Philly.
Okay.
So,
You weren't born and
no,
raised
no,
there.
no.
Just spent some
I
time
had
there?
family there.
Okay.
My mother's family.
So we brought you on this week. I want to just ask the listeners, how's the audio? Just let us know how the audio is. But this week, we brought you on. Why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself and what you think you're going to bring to the Good Morning Gloucester community? Like, what are your posts going to be, do you focus on?
Well, a little bit about myself. I'm the head of Harbor Light Montessori School in Beverly. It's a second career for me. I spent many years being a lawyer and then switched hats and became a school head 20 years ago. And I live in Annisquam, live on the river, and gave up cruising a big sailboat for an Annisquam fish boat, which I helped restore about 4 years ago.
Oh.
And, the fish class is actually celebrating its 100th birthday this year. Those little boats were first built over at Montgomery's yard.
Can I say something? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You said Annisquam fish boat.
Yeah, so
Is it a sailboat or
it's
is
a
it a
little
fishing
sailboat.
boat?
It's a little sailboat.
Okay.
Little cat boat, 17 feet.
Oh.
They were first built at Montgomery's, which is now where Riverboat Works is over on the river, and built 100 years ago. And we have 13 of them in the fleet still, and two new ones being built. So that's what I do for recreation. I am also the president of the board of Gloucester Stage Company.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And that's me.
So you're gonna have a lot of insight and a lot to say about in the community.
Try to.
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure.
Yes.
But
Yes, I am.
But what I think I will bring to the website is just what Nichole has been posting generously for me for quite a while now, which is I love wandering around Cape Ann and particularly around my corner of Cape Ann and observing the world around me. Big things and small things.
And we've been enjoying it as well.
And
So this is awesome.
yeah, I mean, it's been fascinating, the things that people, like the one that I did of the sunrise on the Annisquam Lighthouse a few weeks ago, which I just gave it to Nichole, and wow, some great, nice comments. So it's fun to share.
Yeah.
Isn't it really nice?
We have a great audience.
We do have a great
We do.
audience.
Yeah.
But the comments, like people may not realize that the comments like drives
That's true.
like your enthusiasm to keep going.
Mhm.
Because it's just sometimes if you get crickets, you might have the best. And here's the thing: sometimes the things that I do not find very interesting, say one of my photos, and it gets like an incredible number of comments,
It's
and then
amazing.
something that I think is just mind blowing, and it's crickets.
Yeah. That happens a lot. And I think a lot of it is timing. A lot of it's the day of the week or the weather or things, that you just don't know what's going to hit people. It's amazing.
So
I never
Actually,
know.
that one of the lighthouse, it got a wonderful comment from someone who said it sort of felt Edward Hopperish.
That's
But,
lovely. Wow.
But the one, there was one a couple of years ago. Literally, it was just I was walking up by the corner of the Lobster Cove by the Annisquam Village Church, and looked up the cove, and it was a rainy day. Remember that photo, Nichole? And it just looked, and I just took it and kept walking. And when I sent it to Nichole, she said, "Wow, this is like impressionistic," and whatever. and I was just amazed. You put it up, and it just kept getting hits.
Yeah.
You gave that one to so some of your friends, James and Anna Eves, right, are printing those for you, aren't they?
Yeah.
So over at Cape Energy Clay.
Oh, so
Great.
do you sell your stuff for
I
work?
don't sell, no.
You
No,
just
it's
went to
just
them
for me. Yeah,
last
so,
week, which is
yeah.
great because we love them.
No, they're
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, they're
Cape
wonderful
Energy.
people.
Yeah, they also have their new Cape Ann Salt Company.
Sea salt.
Yeah. Right. Oh, I got some right here.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
I guess the one other thing I'd say about me is I'm the proud grandfather of 6 wonderful kids who
Oh,
are doing all sorts of amazing things, including my eldest grandson, who's a senior at University of Vermont, who spent the salmon season, gillnet salmon fishing up out of Dillingham, Alaska, up in Bristol Bay, and then came back and went up to Damascotta, Maine, and was harvesting oysters for the rest of the summer. So
He's got salt in his veins.
he definitely, well, his father's a boat builder, so yeah,
man.
they do. Yeah.
In another life, I'd like to be a boat builder.
Would you? I would not have pictured that for you.
Really?
Really?
Well, I love being on the water. And I think like once you get on the water, that's all you want to be. As a matter of fact, my best friend growing up, Derek Kalust, his father said something. Every day you spend on the water, you can add on to your life. Like you get an extra day.
I believe that's probably true. Even by the water, I feel
because
like
it just takes away the negativity and like just reinvigorates you for like you get an extra day added onto your life.
Absolutely.
So we get some comments. Deborah Lee Miller, good morning from Georgia. Love your broadcasts. Lived in Western Mass most of my life. We visited Cape Ann 4 to 5 times a year. Love the whole area. Miss our visits this year. Hope to come up for several weeks next year. Well, thanks for checking in with us, Deborah. I hope you share it, because if you share the podcast, you get a chance to win. We're going to pick this in a little bit. A gift, $25 gift certificate for Champions Club, donated by Jody Dowd, our friend. So share it and say I shared it, and then we'll know that you shared it. Where are we? And also the stickers. So we got the new stickers in, and I've been getting about 2 or 3 self-addressed stamped envelopes. Here, Jim. You got them, Jim?
Yeah.
We got two or three self-addressed stamped envelopes a day, and we send them out as soon as they come in for the new stickers, and they're pretty awesome. Paul, here, take one.
Joey, I got to tell you that I'm looking at the pile here because we were filling them out, and this one's from Tennessee, Allen's, Tennessee.
Wow.
So, I mean, we're going to be sending it out. Miss Eloise, it's coming to you very soon. And we have some local Gloucester ones to bring the pile.
Good.
This is so Al Roker. I can't even. This is like the Smucker's 100th birthday. Al Roker.
I love it. I love it. People love this hokey stuff.
Happy birthday! No, I know.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the local weather report, right? How's that?
That was
okay?
perfect.
Okay, great. Troy Petrillo, it's coming to you very soon.
K9 Cuts, our friends at K9 Cuts.
And Hal Mackins, I'm going to say.
Hal Mackins.
Yep. And this is Eloise Hitchcock from Tennessee.
Love it. All right. Thanks for that, Jimmy.
And
We've heard a lot of this year, especially people who can't get to Cape Ann and the North Shore because of this COVID mess that we're all dealing with. I think Joey, all kidding aside, the podcast has been, or the blog in general has been even more important to people right now because they're missing their annual visits, like that commenter just said. So
yeah, I would agree that
We are up.
had an impact.
We're up like 25%. Our numbers are up like 25% this year.
Mhm.
And I think it has to do with a couple different things. One, I've been paying attention more and like making sure every time slot's filled.
Mhm.
No, seriously. I really slacked off. I slacked off a couple of years back. When I was going through my divorce and stuff like that, I slacked off and stuff because I had other things going on, obviously. And now that I get my life kind of, and then we bought the house. Kate and I bought the house, and we were going through the renovation. Now I'm like refocused and energized. And like the podcast last year was like real fun for me because you get to meet so many people and stuff.
Yeah.
What you do is awesome. I mean, it's amazing.
And we don't want to
So
forget to get
great.
Enza's input on the death row sub and meal.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Enza, you're up.
She's waiting.
All right.
It's on the tip of her. She's like,
I know,
please
I can't
ask me because
wait.
I've got an answer ready.
She didn't sleep last
So-
night.
So wait, first of all, I'm going to say Enza is the creator of Lobster Trap Gifts,
Awesome.
where I get my T-shirts and my favorite hat, the one
Oh,
with
the
a
hat.
lot of latitude.
I have that too.
I need to get one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's the best.
I know.
And she made a low profile one for me because I don't like the hot.
You have the Compass Rose, right? Is that too on one of
Yeah, the one that says
Yeah.
GLO. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
All right, so go ahead.
Oh, so I'm Enza Iacono, and I'm born and raised in Gloucester, and in a big fishing family. So if I were to have my last sub, it would be from Destino's.
Okay.
It would be the cheesesteak with pickles on the bottom.
Ooh, that's a
We
good
got
one.
two cheesesteaks here.
That's a first. I'm interested to hear why you want the pickles on the bottom.
So good. Because the cheese and the pickles, it's like,
Oh, that makes good
Interesting.
sense. That makes really good
I'm gonna
sense.
have to. I'm like literally like
Revolutionary.
Monday for lunch.
Yeah.
Jimmy, are you gonna be here Monday?
Yes, sir.
All right. You know what we're gonna order, right?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna order Destino's cheesesteak with pickles on the bottom.
Pickles on the bottom.
That sounds really good.
You know the
I
key
see
on
I see
the
an unearthing video
key on
coming our way.
the key on any sub is when you're gonna get pickles on it to make sure that you tell them to drain the pickles good so the sub doesn't get soggy.
Most places do,
Yeah.
it seems like. Yeah.
All right, and death row meal.
and my death row would be Regina pizza, veggie pizza.
Regina pizza, veggie pizza.
Is that like Pizzeria Regina? Like
Pizzeria
in like
Regina,
Harvard
in the
Square
North End.
Pizzeria? Yeah.
In the
Or in the
North
North
End.
End?
Never
Yeah.
had the original.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I think that's our second one for Regina.
I think you might be right. I have
she
my
remembers
official
the
list
North
here
End.
with
Yeah,
me.
sure.
Awesome. So Enzo, tell us a little bit about Lobster Trap Gifts, how it got started, and it really kind of started out with the wire stuff.
Yeah.
And then I want you to tell me, like, has the apparel kind of taken over now, or is you still selling a lot of each?
So I started with the original wine trap, and I started, creating the wine trap, and then I branched off and I did the 6-pack and the napkin, and it sort of got quiet. So I said, well, I have a website and I have, the products selling, but it's time to do something else. I kind of got like, okay, I need more inspiration, and so I said, well, why don't I create a hat with a little lobster? And I had no idea that it would actually like take off in the sense. And then I don't know, I'm inspired by the ocean, and growing up in a fishing family, like that's all I heard my whole life. So I just kept going, and here I am a year and a half later, and created quite, some different designs, and I'm inspired by my family, Gloucester, the ocean. I just, hearing it so much. And
Well, I've got to tell you, I've seen your orders, and I was there one time, met you. Well, I went to pick up mine, and we met at the post office, and you opened up your trunk, and you were just bringing all these boxes out you were mailing out. So, folks, you got to tell them that you can just order it, and it will be taken care of. You'll take care of people like you always do.
As a matter of fact,
Thank you.
I'm going to
Yeah,
share
no.
the screen right now because I have it up here. Let's see, Chrome tab and Lobster Trap Gifts. Share it. All right, so there we go. And there it is. So there's the website. You can go there and click through the different tabs. My favorite hat, I say it. Do you still have them in stock? The latitude, longitude ones?
Yes, yeah.
It's like my favorite hat. I bought two. I had one. I bought another one because when the first one wears out, I want to have a fresh one. That's how much I love this hat. I mean, it is pretty awesome.
Joey takes good care of me. He's sweet and always.
Well, I mean, honestly, I go out of my way to promote things that I really believe in. If I give a half-ass endorsement, then that means it's a half-ass endorsement. But when I go back, so another couple of my favorite places, Thatcher Ellery.
Yeah,
I got that print last week. Did you see the print I got?
I didn't. I saw quickly that you got something new from them, but since they were at the Bluefin Blowout, I've been in love with them too. Their amazing.
Product mix is awesome.
Yeah.
I love our friends at Pauline's Gifts. She's awesome. Anyway, I hope
We call it Joey approved.
Yeah.
That's
Joey
how we do it. We call it Joey approved.
We're going to bring in, what we're going to do right now is we're going to bring in our friend Muffy White. From Muffy White Styling and Organizing. Organizing is the one that I'm most interested in.
And I want everyone to know that he cleaned his desk in the area, Muffy.
No, not really.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
it's still a
that
mess.
shows
All right, we're
me.
bringing her in right now.
Less of a mess.
Add to the stream. Muffy!
Good morning.
Wow. You got the official cap on and everything.
Oh yeah, come on.
That's it. So your website is, I have a link in the show notes, but I want to make sure that I get it right.
Okay.
Is it muffywhite.com?
It is.
Muffywhite.com.
Yeah.
But it's Muffy White Organizing and Styling.
Yes.
And you have a hat on right now, but that encompasses a bunch of different services. Want to go through some of the things that you do?
Sure. So I do home organization of all shapes and sizes. Think decluttering, making it work better, simple, simple, simple. I help people sell their houses by staging them and helping them to look their best and hopefully sell for the most money. And I work with real estate brokers and homeowners for that. And I do moving. So I help you pack up and unpack and hopefully along the way get rid of anything you don't need. And by get rid of, I mean we donate to Second Glance, we sell it, we keep it out of the landfill, but maybe help you live with a little bit less.
Well, you came over and did a closet for us.
And I hung art for you.
And right, that's right. Because like, how many times you move into a place, you move from one place to another and you have a bunch of pieces and you don't really know the right level to hang it, how to organize it with the different frames, like not to make it look like a total mess.
It's right up to you. Moving into a new place.
Yeah, I know.
Where was Muffy?
Yeah.
I'm here now. I can always help.
She's here now.
Never too late to hire me.
It is, but I think that a lot of people are hoarders, and I think like if you we're gonna do this right now. Like if you look around my office right now, here's my desk. We got stuff.
Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
No.
Okay, that's bad.
Is Muffy feeling it?
Yeah.
Muffy, how are you feeling about this space?
It's kind of good I didn't come in.
She's being restrained. Yeah.
Would your OCD kick in right there?
You know, so
I mean, that's all part
I
of the day.
really think that everyone is calmer if their space is more orderly. It's not about it has to be perfect, but I do think it's distracting to have stuff everywhere.
I guess I should do these.
I think that I've said this a couple times on the podcast. I think one of the main benefits of divorce is the forced purging that you go through. I know it sounds strange, but I have to tell you, like,
It's a silver lining for you, Joey. So
when you are forced to like make hard decisions on what's going to stay and what's going to go, and then you release this stuff that's been like in your basement for years.
yeah.
And you're like, I never fucking used that anyway. I was tripping over that every single day, and all it was doing was taking up space. And it actually was cathartic when it went in the dumpster. I don't know. I mean,
So
do you get that a lot?
I think that a lot of people that I work with feel like it's a form of therapy. Like they feel, it's like I help give, oh my goodness, this is my neighbor Claire coming by. Hey, Tad, give you a second. My neighbor stopping in.
Hi, Claire.
Okay,
You can bring her on.
you might want to mute me for a second. It's gonna get exciting. Okay, so like I help people I give people permission to get rid of things. I know, I should have come in. Sorry.
I see someone in the window behind you. It's a
That's my
stalker.
neighbor.
It's a stalker.
Stopped over to visit the kids.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But giving people permission to get rid of things, to say, even though it was a wedding gift or even though your neighbor gave it to you, if you don't like it, if you don't use it, literally, if it doesn't have a role in your house, see ya. It's okay. Like we get very, I feel like we carry a lot of emotion and a little bit of guilt, with things. And it's time to just live better, live freer.
So Charlene Ellis McCarthy, one of our closest friends, she is a realtor with Engels and Volker.
Okay.
Volker. You have to say the Volker. I always get it corrected. And she says, I would love to know more. We're always looking for someone like Muffy.
Wow.
Please share her information. So are you available to all people?
Everybody. And I do free consultations so that we can meet each other and make sure it's a good fit, because it's personal, whether it's staging a house, that's maybe a little bit less personal. But Joey, when I came to your house and I said, oh, we need to do this, maybe we could try this. Some people feel like, she doesn't like how I keep my kitchen cabinets. it's not about how I like them. I just want the homeowner to be the happiest. Right. So free consults for everyone.
Wow.
I'm available, you can find me on all the social channels. I don't do as much on Facebook, but I post my before and after photos.
Instagram, you're big on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the IG.
You got the, and that also, we have links in the show notes on the blog. So I'm gonna give you a quick thing. What would you do with we'll say this right here? What would you say? What should I do with that?
Okay, so when I was planning on coming in this morning, I pulled out some of my favorite little things from my kit and caboodle. I have storage stuff just ready for all my projects.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what we were going to see down there. So the first thing I think is just finding a container or a couple containers that you like, that you can put things in, and you kind of have to vary them depending on how much you use them. But if you're working at a space, I believe it should be clear. You can have your monitor. I know we're talking about that side table. So the side table, you just need to organize, whether it's electronics, supplies like paper, Post-its. I don't know what. I couldn't really identify myself.
Bunch. That's embarrassing. So you bunch them into individual containers.
I like to group them, group items. Make sure you need them. Make sure you use them. And if it's something you don't use that often, it gets low visibility in a cabinet, behind a door. Right. But on your desk, clear and easy, but with access to the things you grab all the time. So make sure you have your coffee. Make sure you have, I don't know, what do you need? Pens, paper.
It's a lot of charging devices because because that's wires are my biggest pet peeve. I have so many different devices that take different charging ports and stuff like that, and because the blog, it's always I use the cell phone to So
it's really dorky, but taking a piece of masking tape and writing on it, iPod 10. Taking and if I did it for you, I would do a fancy label maker. It's not fancy, but it would feel fancy to you.
Right.
Or any kind of but writing right on it, or taking a Sharpie and writing on the little charger head. We have to do that in my house because we all steal each other's.
Steal them, right. No, I get that
too. It's a little bit of proprietary. But group items. And with the wires, I like to, if they're all coming out of the back of your desk, use you can use Velcro strips. There are these little sleeves you can put over them just to make them prettier, visually calmer. Again, it's clutter makes you crazy. It does. You don't know.
What's your go-to place to get bins and storage stuff?
Well, I have to say I go to multiple places because I'm exceedingly frugal. So all of these little guys that I'm newly in love with, these little translucent ones, are at the Dollar Tree. And they come in groups of 3. So that's less than $1 each. And that's,
can't beat it.
So I'm sorry, what?
No, you can't beat it. That's
no. But then I'm also so frugal that I reuse good boxes. If I get something in a good box, Apple boxes are awesome. Stationery boxes are awesome. And they look like little trays. And I love a tray. When I organize, when I kind of corral your desk, I like things to be cozy. I do go to the Container Store if it has to be pretty. Some clients really want beautiful. Sometimes clients really just want functional. Right. So, it's picking and choosing. But big bins for the big storage for, I don't know, seasonal supplies, holiday stuff, I go to Home Depot.
Yeah.
They really have a good variety and usually the best price. I don't do Costco or any of those big stores, but they probably have great prices too.
The one thing
if you would buy for me, let me know.
There you go. The one thing I would say is whether you're frugal or not, I just want good quality storage. I hate flimsy boxes and stuff like that. I like it to be nice and sturdy.
Yeah, you just need to know what you're using it for. If it's something you're going to be touching and moving, but if it sits inside a desk drawer and it just holds pens and stuff like that.
So
what's happening?
What?
There was laughter in the room. I wanted in.
No, because I threw a packet of butter that's been sitting on my desk for a couple of weeks at Nichole because she was talking in the background.
I can't wait to have my turn to talk.
And making it was muddled. She was talking and it was interfering with the podcast. And
I do love butter.
I had to
though.
scold
I'm gonna
her.
explain why in a minute. It's my turn.
I get so excited.
You're going to explain why?
Yeah.
All right. So let's run through again the services that you provide.
Yes. So home organization, decluttering, organizing top to bottom, staging to help you get your house ready to go on the market, and moving. So moving services include packing and unpacking. Not both, either, a little bit of some. We just help with all of it, but we take away donations, we bring all moving supplies. You know, it's our job is to make your life feel easier so you can kind of focus on the big stuff.
I got to say, I think the best money I've ever spent in my entire life has been on hiring professional movers instead of trying to move myself. Like, moving is the most stressful thing in the world. And like, I know it may cost a little bit to have it done professionally. That money is the best money you'll ever spend.
I've yet to have a client ever complain or say that it wasn't a good investment for them. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I think anybody who comes in and helps somebody with a move, whether it's me or your neighbor or your best friend, becomes a saint in your life.
100%.
So emotional, even if it's for a good reason, a happy move, not a sad move. But moves are, you know, those are like the big things, right? Death, moving, job change. Those are the big life traumas that can really shake things up. So, and I have a team of the nicest people in the world, and we love homes. We love taking care of them. So, yeah, that's us.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You're the best. I love your positive energy. You're welcome anytime.
All right.
And the link again is go one more time. Where do you want to send people to?
Go to muffywhite.com and then you can find all my social from there. And Joey, I am going to come down to your office and I'm going to do a little tune up. We'll do a little before, we'll do a little after. I got stuck at home today.
We're going to do it in the winter when it's just me and when my cousin's off, and we'll come in and when he'll come back from his vacation and the place will be there. Awesome. Thank you, Muffy.
Thanks.
Talk to you soon. She's the best. I mean, is Muffy not the best? I'm sorry. So, for the guests that are in house here, they couldn't hear a thing because I have the headphones on. But we've had issues in the past couple of weeks where I couldn't hear the guest like Susan Kelly. I had no idea what she was saying from Generous Gardeners last week. Yeah. So I had with Muffy, I felt like I really needed to be able to communicate with her.
Yeah, I think you did a good job.
She was awesome.
Lost a little control over on this side of the.
I did. So why did I have to? Nichole, explain to me why I needed to throw a butter packet at you.
Yeah, I can't rationalize that decision, Joey. But so you had the camera facing us, so we were all like, "What do we do? This is awkward." For like 8 minutes, but then you turned the camera, so then we were all like, "Oh, thank God!" And then Enza, asked me a very simple question, and so I thought you had it all plugged in, and I thought that we could not be heard. I thought that you had like the microphone, and you were all hooked up, and and we couldn't hear Muffy, and I would have loved to have heard what Muffy had to say.
Everybody else heard Muffy. Just say it.
So Enza and I started to talk about sailing and whatnot, and I really thought you couldn't hear us.
No, the microphone is very sensitive.
Minutes for the 5 of us sitting
And then
here
you got
like
buttered.
looking at each other. Yeah. And then I got buttered.
Yeah.
You got flying butter.
So I tell Muffy, I apologize. I really thought that you couldn't hear us.
I
thought when you turned the camera, we were all
Watch the podcast
we
later.
all like exhale.
How would you feel if it was your segment and there were people was talking?
No, they didn't know
That's
you
what I
couldn't.
said. Tell Muffy that I'm very sorry. I thought that, and we can't hear her. I'm going to go back and listen. Later on.
I'm glad that I'm going to ask you questions the next time I see you to make sure that you listen.
Okay, you do that. There better be a beer involved, but go ahead, you do that.
Anyway,
I look forward to the
at the
tale.
office when we all meet.
several. Yeah, right. So, Paul, are you aware of the running joke that I have with Nichole? And I'll preface it ahead of time to say that it's a joke that I always make fun that, like, she's always drinking.
Mm-hmm.
You heard him make fun of me?
So she's always, I just want you to know on the record that I'm just joking when I said it because I know that you're her boss. Because she always says, my boss listens to this. You can't make it like I'm a really functional alcoholic because I'm really not.
Because I'm really not functional.
Because I'm not,
Yeah, you're really not functional.
Well, actually, so because of that, I mean, we have a daily health screening check at the front door of the
Yeah.
school, but we check Nicole's
Check
coffee
ex-
cup every morning.
an extra check.
Are you saying she has her own entrance?
I come in the
to
back
come
door.
She goes in the back
I
door.
always go in the
you know,
back door.
Yeah, but you
Close
get
the back door,
screened.
girl. She likes the back door. Okay, so I want to say another time because we're going to pick it pretty soon. Champions Pub, our friends at Champions Pub gave us a $25 gift certificate. It's going to go to someone that shares the podcast right now. That if you're on Facebook, hit the share button and write shared in the comments so we can see it. You're going to be entered. We're going to pick it probably in about 15 minutes.
There's some comments and some people. What you
What?
got there?
You got some comments, Pat?
There are people.
What comments did you want? What comments did you see?
No, I'm just checking.
I want to encourage everybody to make sure they put in the comments that it was shared because I can't necessarily see all the ones that are shared that because of the privacy settings. So we want to make sure we get everybody. So make sure you put in the comments that you shared it.
All right.
But Michael Berlino wanted us to announce that the Cape Ann Museum is reopening this Thursday, which leads right into what I was hoping to share, that we went to the Cape Ann Museum Green exhibit for the portrait.
Yeah, we did that yesterday. Friday.
It's an awesome.
Yeah.
Was that
exhibit.
Jason Grow and Sean Henry?
And
Paul Carey
Thank you.
Goldberg, and there's a fourth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
4 photographers.
Yes,
And then
yes.
they have like 10 prints from each photographer, but
Right.
then they have a screen going where they have all of the pictures.
They have all of them.
All of them.
And they're really, it's quite inspiring, really,
Yeah.
to go.
And it's a great opening exhibit.
It
because
is. It really
it's
is.
like
It's
the fishing.
perfect.
It's like the fishing families that they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's Gloucester, and
Yeah.
it's
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
and
It's a
actually,
great-
we did the whole back. Did you do the tour of the backstage?
No, we didn't get to. We were sort of hoping to.
They don't let them go.
I mean, it was-
where any place where they could steal something, they
Well,
won't
there's
let
nothing
them
much to steal there yet, but it's an amazing building. I mean, the new building, and most of it the public doesn't see because
Right.
it's storage and conservation and
They had a very
and,
knowledgeable docent
yeah,
there.
and
available.
really
Yeah, I heard
beautifully
that they
done.
had heat sensitive rooms.
They
and all
have
this other stuff.
they have what's called an isolation room because like when art is shipped from wherever, you don't know what's in it. It's just been on a ship somewhere, bugs or whatever. So they have an isolation room where the stuff goes. They don't have a loading dock over on Pleasant Street, so they have a loading dock here now, and they can bring stuff in and deal with it the right way. But it's I forget how many 1,000 square feet of racks and.
So I have a question. There's the Cape Ann Marine Museum where you can go see stuff. Is this also like a museum?
Yes. No. So there is a gallery space.
Okay.
And it will be. I mean, it's a permanent gallery space. It's really sort of cool because it's got an overhead garage door that comes up, so lots of light. But then outside of that, there's a classical wooden barn door, so they can actually close it off and make it a dark space.
Right.
And then the green, that whole lawn, is ultimately going to be a sculpture garden.
Yes, I've said sculpture
and
garden.
Yeah, and you can reserve your ticket for timed entry. They're free.
Yeah.
The tickets are free, and you can reserve them online. I'll put a link in here.
And I think it's really
Good job,
great that
Pat.
the first plan was to build a barn that sort of looked like the White Ellery House and the Babson Ailing House, and then they wisely said, wait a minute, that's just echoing something that happened 300 years ago or 400 years. So they built something that's 21st century. And
They're creating their own history.
They're creating their own history, and it's LEED platinum certified. And in fact, if you drive by right now, they're putting the solar panels on the roof.
Nice.
They estimate they're going to generate about $30,000 a year of income for the museum from the solar.
You can tell when you're going around the circle or near the circle.
Yeah.
You look over in that corner and the big American flag that they just put in, dedicated to. That it's just wonderful to look at. And
I haven't gone. I have to go. I'm gonna have to make a reservation and check it out because
I think you'll like it.
because all everybody sees is most people see is the back.
Right.
you know, go up and down the road.
Well, and they've the state took out all those trees along the back thing, but the museum has planted about 200 native local species trees.
Oh, I
So
did
they've
not
gotten rid of
realize
all
that.
the invasive stuff, and
Oh, that's awesome.
and then the Babson Alling House, they're not going to restore it back to what it originally was. They're going to preserve it because it's really the history of 9 generations of the same family living in that house, and so they're going to tell that story.
Yeah,
They're doing a
pile
great
of
job.
stone, big pile of stone. They're gonna do something with that.
Yeah,
too.
so all that
Make a
stone,
rock wall
all
or
that
something?
stone came out of the site.
Mhm.
So the stone wall that they built around on Poplar Street and around, they're going to continue that wall around down to the circle, and it's all stuff that came right from the site.
Yes, I knew.
Really cool.
Little things.
Nichole, I'd like to thank you for bringing Paul.
Sure.
That was some tremendous value-added commentary right there. That was
I can never do that type of thing on my own.
no. If we need a Tito's review or something like that, we can
You're
depend
right.
on.
There we go.
I win the butter pat today.
So
We go right to Kate for that. You know that.
that's
Yeah.
absolutely right. I want to give a couple shout outs. Carol Mandela is with us. Brenda Grimes Davis is with us. Ed Collett, our friend Ed Collett is with us. Hi, Ed.
Hey, Ed.
This name right here, I don't know what nationality it is. Maybe she'll write it in. Kaula Aluk. Koula is the first name. Aluok. I wonder what nationality that could be.
That's
Maybe Swedish?
it's an anagram.
What do you mean?
For a,
Oh, it's
backwards,
backwards and
forwards.
up, backwards forwards.
what's that called?
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Oh, the word is the same, frontward and backwards.
A mammogram?
No.
An anagram? I don't know.
No.
Maybe if she's still listening, she'll.
That's why he got divorced. No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Jimmy.
Why did I do it?
Palindrome. Thank
Yeah.
you, Muffy.
Palindrome. Look at that. Muffy's-
See, Muffy's still listening.
Oh,
Thank
so
you.
so it's
Even after-
Greek. It's Greek.
Okay, very good.
Like the name is Greek. Pat, is that are you focused? with-
No, I'm just looking to see if I made a mistake about the palindrome thing, but I think
No, it's a palindrome.
I think I'm right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'm right.
Did you not trust Muffy when she wrote?
No,
that?
no, I meant that I think I may have looked at the person's name incorrectly, and because I wrote it down because she shared.
Oh, you wanted to see if it actually was
If it worked.
inverse.
Yeah, if I
see.
didn't, I wrote it down correctly from what I.
He questions the mind of a librarian.
Where's the furthest
I know,
listener from? Like,
What's that?
Where's the furthest listener from, that you've had on podcast?
Oh,
Well, we get people
Europe?
saying,
Russia?
I would say Russia.
we had Japan. Somebody.
Oh, we had Japan.
And North Korea. Somebody was doing that. I remember that.
No,
Whatever happened to Dave?
on a weekly
Yeah, I don't
basis, I
know.
get letters from people from
Donna
all
was
over the
gonna
country.
check on him. Haven't
So we
heard.
used to have, remember Dave where was he?
In Korea.
In Korea, and he would comment on every one of every
that guy,
post.
the crazy guy, the Korean. Yeah, and he married the Korean girl.
And he wrote something on everybody's post, and he was
Yeah.
always offering.
Donna was
like,
going to check on him. I don't know if.
I
I know. I
know.
don't worry
I
about
heard.
him for a while ago.
I hope he's all right.
So this guy, literally, there's an average of 16 posts a day on Good Morning Gloucester, and this guy would comment on. He would write a sentence or a paragraph, sometimes several paragraphs, on every person's, and it was very sweet.
He often included song lyrics and poems. He would cite different
Right.
poems, and
He would review
he
the
added so
podcast.
much content in his posts, like he might as well.
Yeah,
And then he sent a bunch of things that I brought into Harbor Light. He sent a bunch of postcards and something from Korea that we brought in and put on the shelf in a
Super
my
nice
classroom.
Well, we
guy.
hope you're well, Dave.
I know.
Susan Casey Lipset listened from China
Yeah.
when she was in China. Her daughter is in some place over there, some Asian place. Yeah, Susan, where's Enron and your wife? Where are they? Erjan, her brother, her son-in-law is Erjan, and I drank Sazerac with him. The kid's a tremendous mixologist. We're going to get to McCarthy right now because he's been waiting. He's been waiting patiently.
In the wings.
So we know not to talk now.
Oh.
When we can't
Oh,
hear
we
Chris.
oh shit! He's
I know,
snoring.
I know. Go to get your butter. Go ahead. Give Joey
He's
his butter.
snoring. He's snoring. He fell asleep. The camera's on him, and he's asleep right now.
Oh.
Chris, wake up, Chris.
That balloon's going to knock him right in the
Chris,
head.
workout
Good
starts
morning,
now.
Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over and see.
We got to see Chris.
Oh, good morning. Good
Good
morning.
morning, buddy. How we
Morning,
doing?
Chris.
Thanks for having me.
Here we go.
I'm logging in on my phone, so I'm gonna watch this way.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Where are you right now?
I am in Meredith, New Hampshire, on beautiful Lake Winnipesaukee.
Oh, Meredith, New Hampshire, Lake Winnipesaukee. So is that near the place where we got the cigars? Oh, wow.
No, this is about 2 hours north, up and on 93.
What a view that is.
Beautiful place, but not as
Oh, that's awesome.
not as beautiful as Cape Ann.
No, nothing is. Nothing is.
So I heard Muffy's piece. Muffy, if you're still listening, I would suggest that you come in with a lot of face protection, full body protection when you come to Joe's and reorganize his office, because there's a lot of viruses floating around that office.
Muffy, you're live right now, too. I brought you back on.
Oh, good. I just messaged that I'll happily wear a hazmat suit.
Yeah,
I've been in some pretty
I would
sketchy
buy
places.
all kinds of protective gear. If
Okay.
You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Okay, like, should I wear my waders? Everything?
Yeah, definitely wear your waders.
I'm ready. I'm not afraid.
So Joe, I only had a couple things. Oh, is Muffy still talking?
Yeah, she's still there.
I can't hear her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
I
I'm gonna put you just on just you now. Thanks, Muffy. All right, buddy.
Well, yeah. So here at Lake Winnipesaukee, celebrating my father-in-law's 80th birthday, I do want to go inside and have everybody wish him a happy birthday, because that's a big milestone to make 80. So
Jimmy. So Chris is talking right now that his father-in-law just turned 80 and they're celebrating. So we're gonna give him a big happy birthday. He's gonna go in there right now. I'm gonna turn the camera around and we're gonna sing happy birthday to Jimmy.
Okay.
I
great.
just, hang on. I just had a couple things before we do that I wanted to cover. I think most of you have probably seen my workout videos. So I've really enjoyed working with Bo Cleary. I've been working out for a little over a week now. I'm also on a diet, and I'm happy to report that I'm down 9 pounds. A lot of that was what I call seltzer weight from all the seltzers that I drank over the summer. I think it was at least 9 pounds worth. So at least I lost that. But hoping to lose a few more pounds. I'm feeling great. Not only is my body feeling great, but as Bo mentioned early on, it helps with the mind as well. So the reason for my posts, I usually hate doing that kind of stuff, but I'm hoping that me and Bo and GMG can help inspire some people to, get off the couch, regardless of your capabilities, whether it's if it's a half a mile walk or whether it's 50 push-ups. Bo has been very good to understand what my limitations are and has really tailored a program around me and not anybody else. So one of the things him and I had talked about, because of the messages that I've been receiving and GMG has been receiving, is that if you're interested in working out with us, we may at some point over the next week or two have a GMG workout, maybe on a Saturday, where if there's any listeners and GMG fans that want to participate, we'd love to have you. You get to meet Bo. Bo has a lot of great stories to share. I think we're going to have him on next week, aren't we, Joe?
Yeah, we're going to have him next week. So for the people in the audience here, Chris was just telling everybody how Bo is going to have a GMG community workout, safe distance, 6 feet apart, and he's going to do one probably outdoors. We're all going to go and do it.
Okay.
Who's in? Who's in?
I thought you meant the dog.
All right.
Everybody's in. What's going
All right,
on?
Chris. You had another thing. I'm going to bring it on screen right now. Does anyone know Adams?
Yeah.
Want to speak to that?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. Yeah.
So my son's girlfriend's parents have ties to Gloucester that go way back to the 30s and 40s. And I guess she was doing some cleaning up, and she came across 2 photos. I think I shared one photo with you, but I have another that's a winter scene. But it's just signed on the bottom Adams. And I was curious. I know I made a post yesterday, and I shared it with Pat to do some investigating. But if any of the viewers, listeners, know this Adams person, let us know, because I'd love to, figure out the story and the history behind this individual and this photo. I mean, it's clear by looking at the photo that it was taken a number of years ago, but it would be interesting to see if we can dig up some additional information.
Cool. So we're gonna are we gonna say hi to Jimmy?
Yeah. And the last thing, as I'm walking in to say hi to Jimmy, is Joe. We went to Turner's on Friday, and it was great to go to Salem, but it was great to go to Turner's restaurant too. Being local folks, we decided to go off island, and the food and the service
I couldn't entirely
were
hear what
outstanding.
it says.
What I would say about Turner's Seafood in Salem, in the former space of the Lyceum, was the most impressive thing.
Should I turn
Where am I getting this back? I'm getting feedback.
Oh, sorry.
it's probably from-
that was
probably from Chris.
that was the.
Oh, they're listening on the inside. That's why. That they did the building justice by not messing with that historic building. The Lyceum, I don't know when it was built. I should know more about it, but kudos to the Turners for honoring that building and not completely tearing it apart to make it more modern, because it didn't need updating. It's such a classic building, and the food was fantastic, and the ambiance outdoors in that Salem courtyard with the music playing in the background, we had a fantastic time.
Yeah, definitely.
And they had heaters set up too.
Yeah.
And then we should give a shout out to Tono for closing in that space outside with the plastic. There's Jimmy. We're gonna say happy birthday right now.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey,
Jimmy.
Gloucester.
There's the 80-year-old.
There's the 80-year-old. All right, we're gonna 80. How does it feel, Jimmy, to be 80?
How does it feel? Well, actually, I got something to report.
Hey, Charlene.
I got something to report, but I don't want to get in trouble here.
Okay.
I want to make sure there's no minors watching this.
I'm leaving the room.
As a member of the AARP, I just want to thank you about the sex tapes. I ordered them, and I thought I had things in check, but I'll tell you, my wife
Jimmy
is
was
sleeping downstairs.
Oh, God.
I don't know if she's going to get up until maybe late afternoon. But
TMI. Oh my
Jimmy's wanted to thank you, Pat, for bringing up the link for the sex tapes. Because as a double ARP member.
Well, you're more than welcome, Jim. Happy birthday. Sincere wishes for a happy birthday.
Sincere wishes, yeah. Well, the problem is his wife is, she hasn't got up yet because she's feeling the effects of
Tape number 4 or tape number 3?
last night's
Tape number 4 or 3.
Hey, you know what? Something that I've learned, and I didn't realize, I don't think that young people think that old people have sex anymore.
Oh, that's probably true. Did you think about? You don't think about that, right? You didn't think about that when
No, it's true. Like, I think old people just assume that young people assume that old people, it's all over. And that might be true for some old couples.
Joe, can you define old?
yeah,
But not for the present company.
Old for me is anybody 10 years older than me.
Oh,
Because, so it's a sliding scale. As I get older, we push it out a year and a year. Because 63 and up. Yeah.
Well, listen, I just wanted to thank you. I do not need a personal trainer now for sex. So, I'm in pretty good shape.
I know.
No, Jimmy Ellis says he's reaffirming that he needs to. You saved him a ton of money because it doesn't need a personal trainer for sex, because the sex tapes have taken care of business for.
Well,
They
I
can't
just
hear
like
me?
to bring the community what they're looking for.
No, they can't.
This is what happens when you're 80 years old and you're close to the end. You don't give a fuck what you say online.
Or if someone has a headphone and they hear all the jokes.
Right.
Hey, Jimmy, happy birthday! Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thank you, GMG.
Yes.
All right, pal. Chris, I'll see you, pal. Have fun.
See ya.
All right. We're back to our regularly scheduled program. Thanks for being patient, guys. I haven't figured out the
Something
whole how
else
to
to
pipe
watch
the
later on.
audio.
Yes, something.
Yeah.
We're watching Muffy's segment
It's gonna be a
and
highlight.
the birthday
And
boy
if you
segment.
didn't see the sex segment last week, you're going to want to look at that
I
one
wanna
too.
go
Oh, that's
forward.
a Yeah, the sex segment led by Pat Dalpiaz.
Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Pat.
Or Dr.
Can we pull the sheer thing out?
What are we doing?
Distraction.
Who knows?
Oh, the gift certificate.
Yeah, the gift
Oh,
certificate.
well, no, we're going to pimp it one more time.
Okay, one
All
more
right.
time.
One more time, because we want to show other restaurants that give us gift certificates that it's going to be well worth their while, because Champions Pub in Peabody, well known.
Is that at the mall? Like the outside of the, right?
No,
Where's-
it's like it's almost in Salem. Off of, if you take a right when you get to Peabody Square off of Lowell Street, and you go down the street, it's only about a mile down the street. Champions Pub donated a $25 gift certificate. You have 5 minutes right now to share the podcast, hit the share button on Facebook, and type shared, and we will enter you in the drawing that we're going to draw in 10 minutes from now. So share the podcast right now, and you will be entered. Let's see, where are we right now?
Totally off track, I'm pretty sure.
What's the matter? No. I have my list. I'm organized this morning.
Thank you,
Thanks to
Muffy.
Muffy.
Thanks to Muffy. Oh, I'm going to bring up. Did you guys see the post I did about the "What are you"?
Yes, I did.
Are you familiar with it?
I
with this?
answered
Did you?
them all.
Yeah.
You answer? Okay, so we're gonna go. I'm gonna bring it up on the screen, and then you guys can answer. I gotta do share the screen right here.
It was your toast preferences, your coffee preferences, and your steak. How well done you like it. It's a visual. You have to pick.
Right,
Just
right, and I'm gonna put that on the spotlight. All right, so
Something
looking at the graphic on the screen right now, you guys want to take a look at it? Oh, you already see it? I'll just pull it over here so people can see. From rareness to well done, and then on toast, really light to really dark, and then coffee black to like almost milk. Do you remember what yours were?
I was a 3. Right there's 5 choices, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was 3 right in the middle for the steak,
There's 6 for
and
you.
I was a 4 for the toast on the more well done side, and then for coffee, I think I was right in a 2/3.
Okay.
B/C.
So one
it's
is one. Oh yeah, B/C. Yeah.
Paul, did you see it?
Yeah, so I'm a 2 on the steak. Well, somewhere between a 1 and a 2.
Yeah.
A 3 on the toast and an A on the coffee.
I'm the same.
You're the same?
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Well, you said 2-3-A, Paul?
I said 2, 3A. Yeah.
That's what I was that too. Jimmy, where were you?
So we'll keep
3-3-B.
You answered like Joey.
3-3-B. Just a little dash.
Yes.
You like a little dash of cream.
Yes.
Where do you fall, Enza?
3-3-B.
3-3-B. A little splash for Enza
Little
as well.
splash.
Little splash.
There
I
you go.
wonder if there's a correlation between how rare you like your meat and how well done you like your toast.
Ooh, I don't know.
I see a pie graph coming.
I see something.
Yeah.
No, I bet you it's inverse, because I see a lot of
Really?
women like their steak well done but not burnt.
Mm.
Maybe not.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I'm
No,
a 1-2
no.
like Paul.
Huh?
I'm a 1-2 like
Oh, no,
Paul.
her steak is.
Yeah, right in the middle of.
I think as we get older, I think when you're first introduced to coffee,
When
because my daughter
Oh,
Eloise
yeah.
is 15 and she drinks
Yeah.
coffee, and it's basically a milkshake. You know, like 5 sugars and
Well, it's
5
like,
creams.
living in this part of the country and then going other. So when you order a coffee here and you say regular, it's with cream.
Oh,
But
right.
when you go to the
It
rest
does
of the
make a-
country, it's a regular is black.
Or
really?
cream and
Yeah,
sugar.
Yeah,
Some
when you say a
places.
regular is
Yeah.
black. You know.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
How about brand? I mean, brand has something to do with it.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That's
roast
true.
as well, right?
That's
Right.
true.
Dark roast, medium roast.
Yep.
I can't get past that they want 2 numbers and then a letter. I wonder how Muffy feels about that. Why is the third one a letter? It's going against
Is this why
everything
you're
I
not
know.
you're not teaching upper
No,
elementary?
right? I don't understand it. There's a flaw in the design
I
of
don't
that
take you
survey.
as an OCD person.
Oh my god, so much. You have no idea.
No, you're very relaxed.
I am not with that.
But internally, you have a lot of turmoil. But externally, you come off and you portray yourself as this relaxed person.
Thank you for that, Joey.
Joey.
Dr. Joe. It's
It's
the
the-
drinking.
yeah, it's the booze.
taquitos. No, as soon as I did it, I was like, I don't understand this. I can't go any further. Why is this happening?
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm out.
I'm just thinking,
Number,
I want to
letter.
hire Muffy as a present for you. Come in and clean your office.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh,
so we just got a little insight.
Okay.
We got twist my
He
arm.
says that like it's a bed.
Twist my arm. I bet you Muffy would love to do
If
that.
everyone else on campus wouldn't put everything in my office,
I'm bringing Muffy on to. I'm gonna bring Muffy on to see if that's something she would do. Hold on.
I would like to.
The reason my office is so clean is because I have Nicole's office.
So I would be remiss to not mention that I was doing a reading analysis with a bunch of first graders, and I was bringing them into my office. So I had 15 different students come into my office this week, and every one of the 15 said, "Why do you have a megaphone sitting in your office and it's calls from Anasquam Yacht Club?" So half the reason my office is so messy is because everybody, including Paul, leaves things in my office. But I could use Muffy too.
So Muffy's with us right now. What do you think about that, Muffy? Would you go up there and take a look at what? Because Paul offered to pay. So
Yeah, I'm
I
in.
think they could take that out of the Montessori Harbor Light fund because
Oh, yeah.
it would really make the place a better learning.
It would make
environment.
those students more comfortable when doing their reading analysis.
I agree with you. So Muffy's in. So
All right.
then
Okay.
This will make up for the talking over her segment that we.
Yeah, and I'll bring butter just in case.
It's a very small space.
You're gonna bring
Muffy.
butter?
It's bright and cheap.
Yeah, you can whack people with the butter.
Ask Muffy if Cal's with Thatcher right now at with the Sea Cadets.
Oh yeah, and then they're going to hockey.
And then they're going to hockey. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. See that.
Good thing.
So that whole hockey thing, that whole hockey group is.
Yeah.
Connor
Our
had
kids
his
are not
first
playing
hockey
together
game
this year.
today. Connor, Kate's son, and Kate and Alex's son, my stepson, Connor. Yeah, so it's nice to see. Muffy, I'm gonna just leave you on.
I'm here. I love it.
All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna just minimize this window. You're still with us, and I just have to bring up the other window. Where am I? Okay, there's my show notes. Thanks, Muffy, for being with us today. Let me just see. Oh,
Wait, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. We're down to 2 minutes before.
Pat, do you have the list compiled?
I do.
You do.
I do.
Okay, we're gonna do this right now. All right.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna. So how many?
One last check.
Do you have numbers? If you share the podcast right now and click shared, we'll enter you into the contest for the $25 gift certificate to Champions. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get that. So what's your how many contestants do you have?
Well, as soon as I see Dee's share note, it will be 11.
If she shares it, so we're gonna give Dee 10 seconds to share it. If she doesn't share it, then she's out of the
D-Noble?
running. Yeah,
Come on, D.
she's gonna. Oh, Muffy shared it.
There we go.
Oh, wait, you got? Do you have Muffy?
No, I do not. So
Muffy's
there's
in.
a new one.
Muffy's in, and
We had to just-
Barry Hallett. Barry Hallett under the wire.
Barry Hallett. The Red Barn.
The Funky Red Barn. No more of the Funky Red Barn.
Oh,
He sold it. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
we're gonna have Barry on it. Oh, and Dee shared it. Okay, we're gonna close it right
Hang on,
there.
let me just check the other feed here.
All right, check
make
the other
sure I
feed,
get
and
a-
I'm gonna pull up the
Okay.
randomizer.
So I've got 13 right now.
Okay, so minimum would be 1, and maximum would be 13. Oops.
The official list.
All right.
Do you concur? Does everybody concur?
Well, are we?
All right, hold on. I gotta put the camera in front of the
The randomizer.
We have the
randomizer.
red envelope.
All right, here we go.
Spin the
Ready? Now here it comes. You gotta shake it, and then wait. No, that's not right. I gotta. It gave me 60, but it's supposed to be. I gotta clear it and do it again.
All right, we're gonna hang in until 44 more people share. Till we get to 60.
Why did it do that?
60 wins.
13. 13. Okay.
Luckily, I'm a musician. I can do this.
Okay, and ready? We're gonna go right now. And number 8. It was sticking on 12, and it ended up at 8. Who was 12? Just so I know, because the 12 was the number just before 8.
12 is Harry Ballard.
Barry Hallett would have got it, but it kind of just clicked over to 8. Who's 8?
Charlene Ellis.
Charlene Ellis McCarthy. 20, and you know what? She's good friends with
They're the ones they talk about the pre-video.
with the Dowds, with Jody Dowd. So Charlene, you won the 20. That's good because I don't have to mail it. That makes it really nice.
Happy birthday, Jim.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Maybe she'll give it to Jimmy Ellis as a birthday present.
No, she gave him the tapes.
Oh, she gave him the sex tape. That's right. I'm sorry. So there's that. So Enza, I have a couple quick questions for you. What was your biggest seller this year?
So my biggest seller is probably the lobster hat.
The lobster hat.
Yeah.
The tiny little lobster in the
Tiny
corner. Understated, classy, timeless. And okay, give me
Maybe
two.
because it
Give me
was
2 and 3.
The Gloucester coordinates, and then
That's because we pimped it all the time.
Well, that looks good.
probably the Gloucester shirt, the flag.
Oh, with the flags on the back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing about the stuff, the designs are phenomenal, but the quality is. That's why all summer long, that's all I wore was her shirts because they were so comfortable. So lobstertrapgifts.com, you can shop there.
Yep.
Let me see here. paulmorgan.com. What is that all about?
That's my painting.
Okay.
So Paula Morgan is the art teacher over at West Parish, but she also has a great Instagram page. She sells some of her art on Cape Gicle with Anna and Jim as well. But I did a blog post about this, but it didn't do it justice because you have to see it in person. So she had posted on her Instagram that she was doing underwater, trying like a new technique for underwater painting. So she had a picture of her son Ian, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, I need her to do something for me. So I went through our Mexico photos of this little moment
hold it right up to the camera.
the boys snorkeling in Mexico with a sea turtle, and I sent her the photo. Can you see that? I sent her the photo, and she painted it, and it's like my favorite thing in the whole entire world.
I love
it's just,
that. The
it's
colors
gorgeous, and she had it framed and brought it to the house, and she now has a website that is in the show notes, and she sells some of her prints with KPMG clay, and she has a great Instagram. But she's also a local art teacher, which I think is phenomenal. So anyone who wants to support our local teaching staff. And she started her first art teaching job was at Harbor Light Montessori, and now she's in the Gloucester Public School.
That is all over the place. So paulmorgan.com, Pat. Paula, sorry, Jesus. PaulaMorgan.com. We'll put that into the Facebook.
She's an awesome person too.
Oh, how do you know her?
How do I know?
her?
No, I'm talking to Muffy, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, she's just an awesome.
You're not listening?
Who are you?
How do you know her though?
I know her through, she's a runner. Her daughter plays sports with my daughter. She's awesome. Joey, you need to meet her. You'd really like her. She could be on the pod.
We'll bring her in. Why not? We're always looking for. We're always looking for positive, fun guests.
I mean, I'm in every week now. You're stuck.
Yeah, but hey, you're always welcome. You know that. As a matter of fact, Kate and I were having a conversation last night. She goes, "Who's going to be on the podcast tomorrow?" And I had mentioned Enza and Nichole and you, and she's like, "Wow, that's going to be." You're gonna have a hard time containing everybody, especially because Muffy. If we let Muffy could have her own podcast by herself, fill about 5 hours without taking a breath.
I stayed home. Like a stranger over here.
I was wondering, what time do you normally wake up in the morning? Because I picture you waking up early.
I'm about 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're a productive person.
I got a lot to do, but I go to bed early. I collapse at night.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's the best. I don't understand why people go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning when you could go to bed early. I love going to bed. I love going to bed early. You feel good the next day.
I went to bed at 1
And you look better.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not me.
Yeah.
So we got that. Nichole, Becca,
Peasy. So Muffy's gonna love this because Muffy, I could see doing this someday.
feed on
You
feet.
know,
What's feed on feet?
So, so if you look at the book, you'll see first of all the Lion Wah sponsorship. So have you met Becca, Joey?
No.
Becca is a friend of Warren Wah's. Warren and the Lion Wah group have sponsored Becca and her runs. So this past weekend with Nadina Wilk and Justine Wilk, Nadina and Jeff own Glass Tech boat service here.
Yeah.
Right, you know them. They were going to run the Boston Marathon, which obviously was canceled. So anyone who was going to run the marathon was able to do it virtually or to save their bib for 2022 when there will hopefully be a Boston Marathon. Anyway, so they chose to run it around Gloucester. So you did a post, and Nadina did it on her own on Saturday, did her 26.2 miles. And then the next day, her daughter, Justine, ran with Becca. And Becca had actually run a marathon on Saturday and then ran her 17th Boston Marathon on Sunday. So that was her 16th and 17th Boston Marathon. But even cooler than that is this book that she wrote. She has done twice the World Marathon Challenge, which means she went to Antarctica, ran a marathon. I read this to my students on Friday and they couldn't even believe it. She ran a marathon, boarded a plane, flew to Chile in South America, ran a marathon, boarded a plane, flew to Miami, ran a marathon, boarded a plane, went to Spain, ran a marathon, boarded a plane, went somewhere in Asia, boarded a plane, went to Australia, and ran her last marathon. So it was 7 marathons in 7 days on all 7 continents.
Crazy.
With just sleeping on the plane, overnight.
And when you're going long distances, don't your legs like I can't even walk when I get off a plane on like flight to Europe.
Right.
So in this book, there's a picture of her. So they're not real photos; they're illustrations done by somebody. But there's an illustration from a photo of her sleeping on the plane. But to watch her, so Thatcher and I watched her finish here, and I've met her at a bunch of Warren's events. But she's always done the 5K, the Bluefin Blowout 5K, and she comes to cheer on the crowd. But she is amazing. So this is her new book. So I ordered a copy for school and I ordered a copy for my house, but I definitely wanted to throw that out there because,
I bet she slept pretty good.
talk about, yeah, probably, but talk about it. She's like this tall, super little Spitfire. She's just amazing. And the money that she has raised. So she was actually on the news this week and she said, the gentleman interviewing her said, "Why did you run the Boston Marathon twice?" And she's like, "Well, I couldn't decide between charities." So she had been running with a particular group, I forget. And then she said, but she also, Alzheimer's is near and dear to her heart, and she lost her grandmother to Alzheimer's. So she said, I still want to run with my Alzheimer's groups, which is obviously Warren and everyone. So she's like, so I decided to do it Saturday and Sunday, which for her is nothing because she's done the World Marathon Challenge twice. But unbelievable.
God bless her.
So check out her website, order her book.
Enza, you're a runner, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Have you done a marathon?
No.
What's the furthest you've gone?
Just a half.
Half marathon? Just a half.
Just 13.
For us slugs, that's pretty impressive. Muffy, have you done a marathon?
I have. I've done 3 New York City marathons, and I'm going to do my plug. I run it for this charity on my shirt.
Oh, that's right.
Which is, I'm running for them today. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. We're doing a 5K, but it's the Glenn Doherty Memorial Foundation, and that's one of my near and dear charities to my heart. So.
Give us the quick rundown on Glenn Doherty. He was killed in Benghazi, right?
He was one of the 4 Americans killed in Benghazi. He was a Navy SEAL. At the time, he was working as a CIA operator. And I grew up with him. He was one of my brother's best friends, and he was my brother's roommate right up until when he passed away. And we started the organization to help special operators and their families. The primary goal is to transition from being in active duty to civilian life, which is a really hard transition for special ops soldiers. So we do that through education in all different ways and scholarship. And it's been great. We've been able to give 70 scholarships, which is amazing. And it was 8 years ago, this September 12th was when we lost him. So, yeah. Wow. And if you go by my house, I'm flying my GDMF flag, which everybody thinks is a swear because all I do is swear. Oh. But it isn't.
Goddamn motherfucker, right? I didn't even I didn't even put that together until you said it. Oh
It
my
took me a
God.
while to
And
stop.
Caitlin is doing the
Yeah,
run for me today.
It's
with us.
Glenn Doherty, but it's
Caitlin, yeah, and I have to say she's going to be a real trooper because we were landscaping yesterday and she twisted her ankle, so we iced her ankle down all last night. But she's dedicated. She's all in.
Well, you know, we say like when the kids are having a hard time with something, we always say like, "What would Glenn do?" Because Glenn literally went down in a blaze of gunfire to save his buddies, so we can do hard things.
Right.
It's a little guilt, but it's okay. It works.
I have to tell you, I see the GDMF stickers all over the place.
I
I'm like,
had a whole bag I was going to bring in today, but
There's
then
a guy in.
I'll bring them when I come and do the office.
There's a restaurant in Winchester. I forget the name of it.
First
something
House Pub.
First House Pub, and they do a run. They get lobsters for their lobster rolls from us.
They get them from you?
Yeah. The guy drives down all the time.
That's amazing. So Winchester's where we all grew up. So
There you go. And he wears the shirt. He wears the GDMF. Like they did a.
Winchester is fiercely proud of Glenn, as they should be.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that. I think. Well, I had one more topic, but I think I'm going to save it for next week because we're over an hour right now. But check out Muffy's website, muffywhite.com. Go get your awesome gear at lobstertrapgifts.com, my favorite retailer of awesome Gloucester gear. Go to paulamorgan.com to get your kids painted underwater.
You have to hold them underwater
after
while she
you
paints.
enroll your students at Harborlight Montessori in Beverly.
After you enroll them. Okay, quickly, because we have you here. Did you have a massive? You're having school, right?
Yes, we're in person.
So I'm sorry, I gotta put this towards you now. I'm sorry, you weren't on camera. What did you get a monstrous influx in applications when there was a question if they were going to have school in person school in the public schools?
Yeah, so we ran a summer program, so people knew we were open, and that really helped build a lot of confidence in the community. But yes, we certainly have gotten inquiries as people have looked at what their options are, and you do your best online, but being in person is really is what you want to do,
Right.
and we've been lucky to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I think because we have small numbers and a lot of space, and you can work with that.
It fits in people's
Yeah.
expectations and hopes for what they
Yeah, I mean,
need
kids
for their kids.
need. I get 6 of my grandkids, 5 of them are online. And it's just kids need, particularly young kids, need to be together.
Yeah, I
They
agree.
need that part of it, and
Gloucester's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, they
what
have.
they're doing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have given props from other communities have been saying, "What a great job, Gloucester!" Have really listened and really strived to put together a program that they thought would work. Is there room for growth in the enrollment at Harborlight Montessori? There is.
Yeah.
So there's an opportunity for children so where would people go to get that information?
Go on our website, engageyourworld.com.
.org.
.org. Engageyourworld.org.
Engageyourworld.org is our.
And I mean we have spaces in the upper grades.
Okay.
And a few in the preschool.
Yeah, we've chosen so early childhood EEC education governs our smaller students, whereas we follow DESE guidelines for our older students. So we've kept our ratios low intentionally, even when the early EEC said we could add more students to each classroom. We made the decision not to. So because we have only 10 children in each of our lower school classrooms, we're full there. We could add more, and maybe we will in January if we see fit. But our upper school has room still.
So yeah, I mean, our Rachel, our admission person, is giving tours every weekend.
Yeah, after school hours, so they're not in the building when our students are enrolled. They come in the evening and they come on the weekends, and we've been doing a lot of that. So
engageyourworld.org.
.org.
Okay, awesome. Pat, did you type that in?
Got it in.
Gotta go.
Thank you.
Way to go. All right, that's going to be it for us. GloucesterCast 440. We're 10 away.
Yeah.
With, Jimmy, was it you that suggested that we go to the office? Well, we're going to talk to. I'll talk to Dean Sala about it, and we'll put something together. Hey, thanks for coming on, guys.
Thank you, Joe.
We'll see you.